I've never seen a man this ruthless. Even with a long sword pressed against his neck, he stays completely calm and closes his eyes. The Japanese soldiers think Boyka has given up resisting. One of them raises the sword ready to strike, but Boyka suddenly dodges the attack. From that moment, he begins his hunt. The Japanese soldiers have no way to defend themselves. Boyka seizes the opportunity and quickly wipes out the squad. When the Japanese officer attacks, Boyka remains calm. He evades the strikes with ease. In just a few seconds, he defeats everyone, but he has no time to rest. More Japanese soldiers are approaching fast. Boyka cannot stop and begins to flee. Running through the jungle, he finds a crashed plane, but it's too damaged to fly. Boyka, a Royal Air Force pilot, had been hit by the Japanese yesterday during a mission. Though he survived the attack by luck, he is in enemy territory and must keep running to stay alive. Suddenly, there's a strange sound under his feet. The Japanese have planted traps everywhere to stop prisoners from escaping. Boyka is caught and taken to a prisoner of war camp. It's filled with soldiers from different countries. They seem used to being in prison. Boyka is brought before Ito, but Ito does not hurry to execute him. After all, Boyka just killed one of Ito's squads. The next day, Boyka is taken outside. A Japanese soldier points a long sword at him. Boyka closes his eyes thinking he is about to be executed, but unexpectedly the soldier suddenly cuts his ropes. Just yesterday, Boyka single-handedly wiped out a squad of Japanese soldiers, but he didn't escape their pursuit. Boyka was quickly captured and taken back to the prisoner of war camp. He was ready to die and closed his eyes, but the soldiers suddenly cut his ropes. He had no idea what was about to happen. 2 Japanese soldiers dragged Boyka out of the area. At the same time, 3 prisoners were pushed into the center of the arena. A Japanese officer then stepped forward. He readied himself for battle. The 3 prisoners knew the officer was strong and didn't dare attack lightly, but to have any chance of survival, they had no choice but to charge at him. As soon as they approached the man, he knocked one down with a single punch. The other 2 rushed to help, but their attacks posed no threat at all. The man defeated them effortlessly in just a few moves. Next, it was Boyka's turn in the arena. The man thought Boyka was just another ordinary prisoner. He had no idea what was coming. The man attacked directly, but Boyka kicked him down. Ito watched in disbelief. The kick left the man in unbearable pain, unable to stand. Boyka concentrated his strength in his right fist. Ito watched carefully as Boyka prepared his strike. A powerful punch sent the man crashing to the ground. Ito was stunned at what he saw. He had never imagined Boyka's strength could be so terrifying. 2 moves were enough to defeat the strongest fighter there. But the prisoners warned Boyka to be careful, because Ito was a cold-blooded officer. He would not let today's events go unanswered. Boyka, the king of fighters, has fallen into the hands of the Japanese army. They tied his hands to a wooden stake. Then they started whipping him without mercy. They knew exactly how strong Boyka was, so they kept him tightly restrained. After the soldiers whipped him for a long time, Boyka finally collapsed to his knees, completely exhausted. The soldiers thought Boyka was no longer a threat, so one of them untied his ropes. He had no idea how foolish that was, and they would pay a heavy price for it. The soldier raised his stick and kept beating Boyka, but as the king of fighters, Boyka never bows. Even though he was knocked down again and again, that pain was never enough to break him. When the soldier launched another attack, Boyka struck back instantly, and at that moment, none of them could take him on. The soldiers had zero ability to resist him. Even after all the beating Boyka took, he was still in fighting shape. He quickly took down every soldier around him. The Japanese officer grew furious and knocked Boyka out. He asked Ito how they should deal with Boyka. Ito was angry, but he was not ready to execute Boyka. He walked over to the other prisoners. He pulled out his gun and shot several prisoners on the spot. Boyka watched everything happen with his own eyes, but he could do nothing, and he knew clearly, if he stayed here any longer, death was the only outcome. So that night, Boyka took another prisoner and started his escape plan. They ran straight up the mountain and sent a distress signal toward the Allied ships in the distance.